I didn't even have a thumbnail for this. I'm so disappointed in myself. But I was busy working all day. You guys know Jana Hawking. Oh, our good friend, Jana Hawking. And I wish I had a thumbnail, but I'll have to make it after the fact. Jana Hawking has reached the tender age of 40. And somebody on the interwebs, I didn't get permission to use their name, so I won't say who, but somebody was kind enough to send me this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I was like, oh my God, is that real? Please tell me this is real. And he's like, yep, it's totally legit. And then somebody else in a chat said, yeah, she just did a story. 40 years old. So a dating expert who instructs people on how to live a proper life and not proper, but how to live a good dating life. She's now on dating apps, and she has to level up and become more choosy in the men that she dates. This is so unbelievable. Jana Hawking. Oh wait, which one's? Because there's two stories here. I'm not sure which is which. Let me pull up this page. This is from February 21st of 2022. Okay, so let me start here. And I probably did a video on this, so I'm not going to like deep dive it. But they say Jana Hawking's mortifying dating profile mistake. When podcaster Jana Hawking started getting weird requests on her dates, she made a big mistake in her Bumble profile. And if you go through this story, she's talking about basically how social media, or I should say dating apps are bad. Dating apps are bad, and you don't get the chemistry of meeting in person, etc., etc. And there was one part out of this I wanted to read. Right here. So she says, now don't get me wrong, I have no issue with anyone who is after something casual. Go enjoy yourselves. Well, that's all you do. I mean, how many stories have we read since 2022 that Jana is doing the casual hookup thing? That's all she does. She says, now, however, as someone who's finally made up their mind about what I want, a relationship, I can't be wasting my time, or to be fair, these poor blokes' time with casual encounters. So this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because I just did a search for her in dating apps. And in the meantime, over the last 2 years, I've read many stories where she's been on the hookup thing, not doing the serious, like just doing casual crap. Well, now dating expert, dating guru, who's already hit the wall at 40, no eggs, hit the wall. Now she must raise her standards. Now she's, here's the dark side of the dating apps. Look, Jana tells us every year, here's the dark side of dating in person, the dark side of dating the bad boys, the dark side of hookup culture, the dark side of long-term relationships, the dark side of, it's all horrible. And in the meantime, she doesn't learn from it. She doesn't do the same thing over. Actually, she does. She does the same thing over and over and over again, which is hook up with a bad boy for the weekend, then she gets ghosted, or then she gets bored of him and she moves on. That's what she actually does. What does she say in the meantime? Oh, dating apps are horrible. Dating apps are great. Long-term, short-term, hookup's good, hookup's bad. He must spend $2,000 on me first. I met this guy and he winked at me, so I slept with him in a Burger King bathroom. Like, she can't get her story straight. And what it is her mind is like a leaf in the wind. She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know how to get what she wants. She can't make anything work for her, yet she's a dating expert, everybody. She's the dating expert that is guiding the youth of today how to live a fruitful and beautiful dating life as your body count goes into triple digits, as you hit the wall, as you're no eggs having retirement home. And here we are. And if you remember, I did the video on bangable. It was my last video, I think. Bangable versus dateable. There's going to be a ton of dudes that like, oh, yeah, she's pretty. I'd totally do her even at 40. I'd bet her. I don't care her body count. Who cares? It's just going to be, it's better than the 5-knuckle shuffle. I'll go have a good time and enjoy my time with her. And that person moves on with their lives. That guy is out dating again. Maybe he's married with a family by now, and she's sitting at home doing the same thing she always does. Let me quickly talk about the wellness company. You guys know I've been talking about this a lot recently, but man, now you hear Dr. Fauci and the West Nile virus, and he got the West Nile virus, and there's 33 counties going into lockdown because of West Nile, and then they got the bird flu crap that's coming about, and then they got the bird flu summit that's coming out, and they're going to push something. I don't know what it is, but they've got to pull out absolutely everything. You know this. They're going to be pulling out bird flu. They're going to pull out all the stops. They have to. Well, the company, wellness company, when they reached out to me and they're like, check it out. Look, I know some of you don't agree necessarily with Drew Pinsky. Drew Pinsky was big on the jab. I still listen to Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla on the Adam Carolla show, and Drew was all in on it, and Adam wasn't, and Adam was trying to say, I'm not taking it, and Drew said, I did, and then he got hurt by it, and then he started looking into it, and he's like, okay, I changed my mind. So Peter McCullough, which I have high regard for, and Drew Pinsky, they're on the board of members of this stuff. Well, they got a contagion kit. It's got the good stuff. It's like toilet paper during the last lockdowns. Like, you never know you need it, but then when you need it, you can't get it. And that's kind of how that goes. But they've got this contagion kit, hydrochloroquine. Let me zoom out. Holy cow. My eyes are so bad. Where did it go? Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, nebulizers with budesonide, which takes away inflammation in the chest, Tamiflu. It works on everything, guys. And they set up a page. You guys can go to twc.health /oddmanout, all one word. Go check out their contagion emergency kit. That's the one that I've got. And the contagion kit carries most of what the medical emergency kit carries, so I'm good there. But make sure to go out, grab one, get it before you need it. All the stuff is refillable. It's good to have on hand, and that way if they lock everything down and everybody's freaking out, you don't have to be freaking out as well. So go over to twc.health /oddmanout, get your kit, get covered. It's less than the cost of running to the doctor. You get all the meds you need. And it's refillable. It's available only here in the United States because we're awesome and the rest of the world is not. Jana Hocking reveals the dark side of dating apps. Oh, it's so hard being a woman on a dating app where you get thousands and tens of hundreds of thousands of people trying to get with you, and you can't find a single one worth your time. Oh, the horror. She says, picture this. It's a Monday night, and I find myself in a room full of experts, all nodding along to a dating theory I've not so secretly harbored for a long time. Okay, I'm going to have to pick this apart a little bit. She's in a room full of dating experts. She calls them dating experts that are nodding along to a theory that she has. Hold on a second.
Oh, wait, you serious?
I was in a room with a bunch of experts, and they were nodding along with me and my genius. Okay. Namely, that dating apps have taken a turn to the dark side, wreaking havoc on both our mental health and bank balances. Wow, I'm glad you cracked that one, Jana. I think we've been talking about it for, 5 years, guys? We've been on this train for 5 years plus, but now the genius just came across something that no one else in the world has managed to notice. Whew, she is as bright as a candle in the wind. She says, oh, I can't tell you the validation I felt as I furiously lapped up everything I was hearing.
Classic move. Oh, yeah.
She was in a room full of everybody furiously lapping up everything and getting the validation, which is the important part. She said, so how did I end up there? Well, yours truly got invited to be on SBS's Insights program, a show that takes a deep dive into the meaty topics each week. The jokes write themselves, Jana. This week, it was all about the dating gamble. Are dating apps worth it? Oh, wow, what a meaty deep dive. I've only talked about that 1,273 times. You're ahead of the curve, Jana. You're ahead of the curve. Oh, God, this woman, if this woman loved a man as much as she loved herself, she'd be married for 30 years with a family of, well, she's 40. She'd be married for 20 years with a family of 6 if she loved a man as much as she loves herself. She said the guest list was a fabulous mixed bag of tricks. How am I supposed to read this seriously? Did you huff paint before this one, Jana? Honestly, did you huff paint before this article? They say, and the stats don't lie either. The top 1% of women get more likes than they know what to do with. The top 1% of women, how about the top probably 30% of women, 40%? They say, well, the bottom 50% of men barely register a blip. Bottom 50%, I'd say bottom 80%. It's a grim divide with only a fraction willing to grab their credit card for the app extras. Sure, because it doesn't help you. A woman is insane. She has insane standards. It doesn't matter if you match with her or not. She's not going to choose you. So why pay for the extra money and pay for all the bells and whistles and be able to limitless swipe and swipe in any city and be able to super like and all these other things when it doesn't do any good for the men? She says, and then there's the gender divide with fellow guest Lisa Portolon, who did her PhD in the online and dating apps, revealing there are more men on Tinder, and Ashley Madison, insert giant eye roll here, as opposed to more women on Bumble. Well, of course, because guys are literally trying anything they can do to get a date and or to sleep with a woman. When you're talking about 80 to 85% of men really not having any access to women, girlfriends, dating, sex, etc., yeah, guys are gonna go kind of crazy. Guys are going to start going on sugar sites and start thinking like, geez, I'm at the point where I guess I have to pay for it if I want to sleep with somebody that doesn't look like Jabba the Hutt with lipstick. What else are guys supposed to do? Now, there's 2 categories of men. There's men that feel that they have something to offer. They're confident. They're maybe a little cocky. They're funny. They're in decent shape. They got some game. And they say, you know what? I'll find something. And a lot of times they do. It may not be their dream girl, but they can find somebody. And they might really like her. But with the dating apps being so accessible to women, with the dating apps being so fun, with the dating apps, those women getting kind of addicted to that excitement of getting attention, that guy might have found a woman and he's good to her. She'll still be looking for the next level up. How many times do we see that happening? She said, in a nutshell, I think it's safe to say Tinder and Ashley Madison scream hookup culture. Yeah, no kidding. While Bumble seems a tad more let's actually date. So at 40 years old, I don't know what order these are in. I'll just take them from pictures that aren't blurry to pictures that are. But now Jana's on Bumble. And here's the problem with Jana being on Bumble. I have no personal issues. Like, go do your thing, Jana. Look at this picture of Jana, okay? Look at this picture of Jana. Now, how old is it? Because I've seen this picture in many of her articles. Many of her articles. So this is already probably 2 or 3 years old, I'd imagine. But number one, she looks good. She's got her Botox in her forehead and around her eyes or whatever, or she's got a filter on. You don't see a lot of wrinkles. That's good. She's got a nice smile. She's not an unattractive woman, but in this photo, which I think is her main Bumble profile photo, you see cleavage. You see nice boobs. I'm not going to hate on her. Looks like she has nice boobs. So as a man, you see this, you're like, women don't understand that men don't go 15 photos deep. A man might see this and then go, oh, okay, she's thin. She's not a fatty hiding it. Yes. So I think she's somewhere in Australia or Sydney or Melbourne. I don't know if she's in Sydney or Melbourne. I think she's Melbourne. Anyway, here's what a guy will see this and he'll go, yep, I'd sleep with her. And off they go. Yep. And so she's going to get right swiped on, and she's going to open that app, and she's going to see, I don't know, in the Sydney area, she could open that every day and probably see 1,200 matches. She could see 1,200 matches. How many of those is she going to actually look at? She's going to go through and she's going to, and now remember, these matches are somebody that she thought was attractive enough that she would swipe on. So now she's got 1,200 guys that she would probably find her attractive. So with that many, I can narrow it down. The top 10% would be 120. The top 1% would be 12 men. So she's going to look at 1%ers, not realizing that those 1%ers are looking at her like, well, she's 40, but she's not hard on the eyes. She got a decent body. I'd sleep with her. And so they match. They go out on a date. Now, Jana is with a 1%er. He's beautiful. Tall, dark, handsome, financial banker or whatever. All the good stuff. And she's like, oh my, I have found a winner. And she sleeps with him. Or she wants to date him. Or she goes on a couple of dates. She's going to put out, because he's a 1%er, and she's super attracted to him. And she's not known for keeping her knees touching. And it doesn't work out. So she gets back on the app and she goes to the next. Remember, there's 12. If she gets 1,200 matches, a 1%er is 12 men. So now she goes to the next and the next and the next. But by then, it's a week later. And now she has lots of other matches. Now she's got 6,000 matches. And 1% of that is 60 men to choose from. And so what happens to these women when they fall into this is they will continually be fun for the 1%ers. These are the men that just show up and go, they look like Henry Cavill. They got muscles. They're tall. They're dark. They're freaking Superman. They make good money. They're interesting, funny conversation. At the end of the night, the panties come down. The lights go off. And because she can't help herself, he's 1%. And that's going to repeat until she hits the age where it's not the 1%, but she can do this till 45, 48. But at 50 or so, yeah, she did get pumped and dumped a few months ago. She did. But in a couple more years, it's going to end. This first picture says things you can bond over, museums and galleries. At first, I thought that said things you can bend over. I really did. I thought it said things you can bend over. But it's only because I know Jana's history. Old dating traditions are out. My new tradition is, I guess this is a pickup line. Old traditions are out. My new dating tradition is, I don't know, being 40 and still thinking you're a dating expert. She says, podcasts. Introduce me to one you love. This is probably a little bit more age-appropriate photo. Looks like gravity's slowly taking its toll. Her face looks a little more round. And again, I'm not hating on her. I'm not saying this is a definite old photo. Like, you can see her face has got way more weight on it in this one than in this one. She says, no rules, no games, just go with the flow. You know what the good just go with the flow is? She's going to flow right into his bedroom because he's a 1%er. She says, my perfect first date is dirty gin martini, alcohol, some form of cheese, I'm guessing you're providing that, and great banter. And she's standing outside Ray's, a private hotel. Let me see if I have a good Jana. Do I have anything that's kind of Jana-ish? No. I'll just do Christina, because Christine is about the same age as good old Jana. Good luck, Jana, by the way. Okay, so you're on a dating app. You swipe on Jana. Jana's too good for you. She's banging footballers and rugby players because she's still decent looking. So you don't get any action from Jana. And you swipe, and here's the next one that's 39, 40 years old. Here's your other choice, guys. Here's your other choice. Christina, 39. I'm just out of jail. I'm not even making this up, guys. You can't make these up. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of these on the internet. I'm just out of jail. No car. No home of my own. I live with my mom. No money, LOL. But I have a phone, and I'm into fetishes. I like the mysterious, dark types.
Oh, yeah.
And dangerous. Plus, I'm a vixen. I am dark, and I enjoy taboo. I'm also into piracy as a part of my passion. I will hump your Pokemon too. I am a Satanist, Luciferian, and voodoo witch who practices occult rituals and reads tarot. So yes, Lucifer is my big daddy. I'm also into bestiality as well. I'm craving a motorcycle ride. I'm also craving something casual. Well, thank God you're not looking for marriage. Whew. Bullet dodged. Honestly, guys, honestly, I'm gonna save the other dating I've been pulling up more dating profiles of the day. Honestly, pretend you don't know Jana. Okay, I know we're an imagination world. You don't know Jana. You're a successful 40, 45-year-old guy. You know, you're a little better look, you're better looking than average. But, you're a blue-collar job or you don't have six figures, and you see Jana. And you say, you know what? She's, for 40, she is a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying a lot of people might. Looks like she's got a pretty banging body on her. She's cute. She looks like the cheerleader I might have known in high school or something. I'm going to swipe on her. None of you have. This girl has slept with footballers. She said so. She's seen hooking up with a rugby player for like 3 days. That's who she's getting. You're not getting this. You're not getting this. But you know what's ironic? There's going to be a guy out there that's like, hey, you know what? Okay, her face is not, I wouldn't throw up looking at her face. And in another photo, she might have a decent body. And you might be like, you know what? She's looking for something casual. I will not fall asleep in the vicinity around her because she'd probably open me as a sacrifice to her Luciferian lord and voodoo. She'd do some voodoo stuff with me. But guy, I know you guys because I've read your comments. There's a lot of you be like, she might be crazy, but I'm on a dry streak. I'd bang her. I know some of you would. Just out of jail. I'd have to find out why she went to jail. That's before I even... But some of you guys would be like, murder? Well, I'm bigger than her. I just wouldn't fall asleep around her. I know some of you guys. And then the funny thing is, you're going to swipe on her just so you're like, oh, I'll take the worst woman in the world. I just want to get laid. I just want to go out on a date. You'll swipe out on her, and here's the best part. She would not swipe right on you because you're not all the sixes or all the sevens. And then after scraping wood chips out of the bottom of the barrel and never getting a reply from any of them, you get off the dating apps forever and you never go back to them. And you just realize, I'm probably going to be a single guy. I need to be okay with this. I will find guy friends. Perhaps I'll purchase a professional once a month. Me personally, I haven't had to do that. I feel that I'm pretty lucky that I've never gotten to that position. But there's a lot of guys, and I don't shame it. I used to say I don't think that's a good thing to do. But my opinion on it's changed. I used to feel like, as a man, if you have to pay for a woman, you're a loser. I just felt like that. And so I always have the mindset like, if I'm going to pay for a woman, I'm just a loser. I'm not going to do it. And I've never done it, but my mind has changed. It's not because I think somebody that can't get a woman and decides to pay for a woman is a loser. I now look at it as you could maybe get yourself entangled with a nutso woman like this who's mid at best, or you could say, you know what? I'm going to save some money. I'm going to get someone who is attractive, who's got a good sense of humor, that's funny, and that is actually a good date to pay for. And I will pay for that, and I know at least by the end of that evening, I'll get to sleep with somebody. And let's be honest, some of these women that you're finding in the bars are worse when it comes to STD and promiscuity and the rest of it. Some of those girls in the bars and the clubs are worse than professionals now, if we're being honest. I think times have changed. I don't think they're for the better, but you either have to understand the nature of the game, which is move to a small town, try to go to church, try to find a good girl. Maybe you find one, maybe you don't. That's a gamble. You're in a city, you just do the hookup culture with whatever you can get. You decide to hire a professional once a month to take care of the physicality, because for guys, it's all about the physicality. And lastly, which I think a lot more guys are starting to come to settle on. I think the vast majority of guys come to settle on is, I'm just going to be okay being alone. You know what? I'll buy a couple of, I'll watch a couple of movies on the interwebs every once in a while, help me relieve my stress on my own. I'll hang out with the guy friends. I'll have maybe a good dog by my side, and I'm going to figure this out as a single man doing my own thing. I think that's where we are. I really do. And now I'm of the mind, whatever you need to do to be happy and to get through life in a way that you feel is like it puts you in a good mindset. If anything you're doing makes you sad or makes you feel guilty or bad or unhappy, stop doing it. Eat better, hit the gym. But you've got to find your way that you're going to be okay. I still am of the mindset that being a single guy or doing your living your own path is the best way, but times a change. I'm telling you, man. Times are a changing.